Once again, episode 6. Is it episode 6, Dale?
Yeah, I believe so. Live and direct.
Live and direct, old heads only. If you are an old head, you will not take offense to that term. It is what some would call it is a term of endearment to some people. To me, I feel like it is a righteous path that we have embarked on. You only get to be an old head because you have lived and you have seen certain things. Old heads only. My name is Challz Brown. Right next to me on the right is Four Eyes the Ugly Professor, aka what?
Dale, man.
Dale Man.
Dale,
Right
man.
under him, the distinguished gentleman, Micheal Brown. Salute, salute. Tell him your podcast.
Podcast is mind. Pardon my. It's analytical concepts. Minding my black-owned business, and that's pretty much those are the two. Never mind the dog. You can't see him in the background. Good.
It's all good.
Yeah. So pretty much I go live off of Instagram on analytical concepts.
Let's get it. Listen, I brought this brother on for a very unique, special topic. I don't know if you people understand what has happened, but there was a thing back when we were coming up called conscious rap. And it was a very big part of hip hop. As a matter of fact, at one point in time, everybody was going conscious. I had the medallion, I have a dashiki. I ain't go that far, but I had the wooden blocks. I had the loose fitting shirt and clothing, the African beads. I had a lot. I still rock the beads, but my lingo was conscious. My style of being, the way I carried myself, was conscious, brother. Right? And I don't know. I know Dale was in that same frame of mind to a degree. Mike, were you there as well?
Not so much as far as wearing the medallions, but as far as my, the speech.
Yeah, bro. I want to delve into it because for not only the old heads, but there's a lot of young people that watch this show and say they get a lot of knowledge from the show. And I want to take them back to a time before we even get into who the conscious rappers was, because I want to do that as well. But I
Okay.
want to take them back to a time where we had a whole different society when it came to hip hop. And at one point, you was kind of whack if you wasn't conscious, right?
Yeah.
Crack is whack and all that stuff.
Right.
And I want to go backwards and I want to just try to paint that picture because it was it YZ,
Yep.
Righteous Teachers,
Two Kings in a Cipher. Remember them?
Two Kings in a Cipher,
King's Son,
Public Enemy,
Son,
King's Son,
Paris.
Paris, yeah, definitely Paris.
Paris,
Yeah.
KRS-One, The Coop.
Yep. Oh wow, yeah. Yep.
Yo,
and you gotta also look at the geographics too. Like with the Coop, they came out of Oakland, Black Panther Central.
Facts.
Paris did too. Paris came out of there too, didn't he? Out the Bay Area.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, out of Northern Cali. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to read a breakdown of what they say that conscious rap is, and we can start there. This is off Google. Conscious rap focuses on socio-political, economic, and cultural issues. It explores topics like Afrocentricity, the problems facing everyday people, poverty, religion, violence, crime, and materialism. Conscious rap encourages listeners to discover insights that could lead to collective and positive change. I want to first discuss the foundation of conscious rap, and you started it with the Black Panthers, and we had the 5%ers, we had the Nation of Islam. That was the center of it because we were coming out of like a very bad time with police brutality and gang warfare and extreme poverty, and not only Jim Crow laws and things like that. And we had a lot of racism, and we kind of knew what each other was going through, but by us going through it at the same time, we kind of only had each other to actually do good by and do bad by. We robbed each other, right? We lifted each other up, but we put each other down at the same time. And all of that stemmed from just how we were raised to you kind of were raised to kind of hate yourself a little bit, to kind of like disrespect each other to a degree. Would y'all agree with that?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, from a slave plantation mentality, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Where you're taught to distrust each other and to tell on each other and to try to so they can control you, they got to break you down. You understand? So you come from that, and your ancestors and the people that raise you and come before you, they're steeped in that. Like we use the N word against each other, and that was thrown on us, and we inherited it, and some may say we co-opted and we made it into we owned the word and we changed it. Yeah,
Made
some
it to
people
a
don't
term
agree.
of endearment type thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like Tribe say, nigga, nigga, nigga. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
word fly off my mouth, it fly off my tongue. I can't stop the word. And it's some people say, you know what I'm saying? It's a good thing. Some people say it's bad, but end of the day, all of that is a melting pot of how we got to conscious rap. Now, I want to get your opinion on where conscious rap began. Because I got an opinion, but I want to hear yours. Who want to go first?
Who?
Whoever you want to go first.
I'll say the Last Poets.
Oh,
yeah.
very good.
The last Poets. You know, Gil Scott Heron. You know, those were the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, they were the ones that really started it, and telling us like, hey, you know, basically think better of yourself. You know, they're talking about, you know, Gil Scott Heron was talking about Spiro Agnew. You know, that the revolution won't be televised.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was the launching. I think that was the launching pad, the gantry for the rocket that we would now call conscious rap. Because if you think about it, from the late, like from the 60s into the 70s, like actually the 60s, you know, you saw groups like the Temptations and the Four Tops even start getting political. Marvin Gaye got political.
Facts.
Yeah, that What's Going On album is a conscious album.
Man, that was, I think that was the album that really like took it from here to there. It sent it right into space.
Yeah, I agree.
And they did everything to stop that album. The label did not want that album.
No.
Under no circumstance.
Yeah, Berry Gordy didn't think that was going to sell.
Yeah. And lo and behold, I think that was Marvin's best album.
Yeah, it was time. It was the time for it. But it was a need for it too.
Yeah.
And he understood. He felt that's where everything was going, and he had to say something.
Like, it's very few songs on there that's about love. Like, that shit is just totally conscious.
Fact.
Yeah.
That's a heavy conscious album.
And you know what too, you kind of think about what sparked it too, was you look at the brothers who were going into Vietnam. They had to cut their afros off to make it more stylish, to make the other GIs feel comfortable. So we had to, you know, we developed the handshakes, the secret codes.
Facts.
You know, next you know, we saw Marvin with his album, then we saw Gil Scott Heron come on. But then you gotta look at that gap. After that, we had a gap, a major gap. And you gotta look at the message.
Yeah.
The song.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
I was going to say the message is where,
the first conscious rap song.
I believe so. That has to be.
Yeah.
Unless it's something that we're not crediting, but it's the message is the first conscious rap song.
Then you had Run DMC with Hard Times after that.
Right.
Yep. Only 2 years later.
Yeah.
Facts.
But before the message, it was like pretty much all party and rap.
Yeah.
And shit.
Oh, I can rap. I'll rap you. Da da da.
Yeah. Yeah. The Busy Bees and Kumo D's and all that.
Yeah. Which is great. You know what I'm saying? Let's not go crazy, but Last Poets, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people, we wasn't ready for Last Poets in the beginning of rap.
Nah.
We had to get PE and we had to get Cube. Like a lot of people had to come and then got us ready for Last Poets. But
right.
they were sampled so much in hip hop. Like
Oh yeah.
I didn't really hear Last Pose until hip hop.
Right. I didn't either. My mother didn't have none of their albums when I was a kid. So
well, that I was gonna say like that. I heard some of it when I was younger because my father and my mother and father would have basement parties, and every so often my father throw on one of them albums, and
Oh, he one of them brothers.
yeah, I tell a lot of stories about my pops, but my father was, I call my parents Malcolm and Martin. Because
Wow.
my father was straight up, he was Malcolm before Malcolm made his trek.
Oh wow, yeah. Let's go.
So, but
So he didn't conform.
no. And that was the thing. Like when my brother started playing Public Enemy, it kind of caught my pop's ear. Like, yo, he came upstairs like, who's this? My brother showed him the album, Yo Bum Rush the Show. My father was like, "Oh, these brothers ain't playing."
Nah.
He said, "These
You know
real."
what's
He was
funny
like,
too? It took me years. Like as I got older, I first used to think Public Enemy was just rapping, and as I got older, I'm like, most of that stuff was already solidified as like that was real knowledge that they were spitting to us, and they just put it in a rap form.
"Yeah,
Right? They was kicking real knowledge to us. Poor Righteous Teachers, X Clan. They was kicking real knowledge, and we thought they was just rapping. And
that's
they was really
KRS-One.
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
yeah."
But
Speaking of Malcolm X, I knew who he was, but I really didn't know who he was until that second Boogie Down Production album when, KRS-One had the cover. And I was like, oh, and somebody told me where he got it from. I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think you want to know who Malcolm X was. This is before the movie and all that.
Yep.
And what's crazy is
they teach
Malcolm
that
X,
in school where I'm from.
Malcolm X passed before we was even born.
Yeah, 65.
I went to Malcolm X Elementary in DC.
See, I went to Martin Luther King Elementary School.
Yeah. It was an open space school. I remember that. Like that was a dog. I wasn't no older than 5, 6 years old. I remember that place like it was I'm right there. I went to Malcolm X Elementary. It was hard, bro. I mean, not hard like bad, but it was just I'm from a cloth, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a little black kid in Malcolm X Elementary, he gonna know some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
See, I ain't know none of that when I was in elementary school. That wasn't touched.
But I was very I wasn't, they didn't throw all of it on you. You know what I'm saying? They didn't hit you with the teachers of Malcolm X like that, but we had to, like, you would do the you did the Pledge of Allegiance, then you did the African Pledge of Allegiance. Like you would do you would do the Star Spangled or whatever you had to do for the state, and then you would do Lift Every Voice and Sing, right?
Okay.
We would celebrate Kwanzaa and Christmas. So you had to do, you did all the black stuff as well as whatever curriculum they had for you. As a matter of fact, I can't even be sure that we even did Christmas. I know we did Kwanzaa. I'm not sure we did Christmas in our school, to be honest.
We I know in 3rd grade that's when we first learned about Kwanzaa.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, okay, because I lived on the east side of Providence, which is predominantly, like, depending on what part, Jewish. So we learned all about that stuff, but then like they taught teacher had us learn about Kwanzaa. I was like, okay. It's actually my teacher I had in 3rd grade, Miss Tan, who's Asian, who was talking about Kwanzaa, which was like,
right.
That's
wild. It'd be like the other races that'll bring it to you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's like it ain't always the blackest person in the room. Sometimes a little white lady or Asian guy. You know what I'm saying? That's telling you about your history. It's up to you to absorb it.
Yeah.
But I remember when Public Enemy first came out, and I heard them on I had this little tape. Somebody gave me a tape, and they was at because they used to be DJs. They was they were at a college radio station, Chuck D and Flav Flav. They weren't rappers, and they used to do this radio show. When I heard that, like before Bum Rush the Show came out, they had a song. What's the joint? They had Terminator X. I think that was their song. And it might have been damn, what's the first song where they got the radar on them? Man. That first song. Huh?
He'll come to me.
A ton or something?
My Uzi weighs a ton.
Okay.
What's the jump? that joint with the little. I'm about to tell you right now. That joint was fire, bro. That's how I first heard Public Enemy, and I didn't know that they was kicking the conscious stuff. I just thought they was dope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Public Enemy number
Number
one.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
One.
That joint was crazy. And that turned me on to them. And I didn't know, that they was, I just thought he was this tough ass dude. Right? He was talking about his Cadillac, my 98 Oldsmobile. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
I just thought he was just a hard ass. Like, it's hard as shit. Like, I just thought he was hard. I didn't know that it was consciousness. But as it went on and rap started to define itself, you had to start saying something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it became a thing when PE do the right thing and all that. It became, rap is all about teaching. So that's the rise of it. I want to get to the fall, but I want to get to the rise of it. Do y'all remember how rap used to feel at the time, or hip hop? I'm not gonna say rap because it was a whole thing. Do y'all remember how it used to feel when that era was strong? Before the gangster stuff came. How do you remember that era? How does that set in your memories? Dale, one of you.
You want to go?
You can go. You can take it.
I remember buying that first Public Enemy tape, the Bum Rush the Show, just off how the cover looked. I didn't even know who they were. Like, I would take a chance and spend what little bit of money I had on whatever looked like rap. Because I'm from the DC area, so you gotta get whatever you can as far as rap goes, because it's such a go-go infested area. But the album cover looked so cool. I said it looked like some black militant shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Public Enemy was hard, bro. And I don't think nobody was doing it like them.
No,
I think they sunned everybody.
My older brother and his friends, being 8 years older than me, they're the ones that really got me into it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, my brother had, he had the Yo Bum Rush the Show album, and he always was talking. He come home from practice, someone, such and such had this tape, and we would listen to it, and I'm like, I'm young, I'm like, okay, yeah, but like, all right, whatever. And then he brought the album home. My father came up, listened to it. We were sitting there listening to it. It was like, yo, I was young, but my father was like, yeah, listen to this. This is hard. This is what you need to be listening to. All the other party stuff, that party stuff ain't no. You gotta listen to this. They got a message. And then like
he was about that action.
Oh, I mean, well, when I kept playing Welcome to the Terror Dome.
Yeah.
Because I commandeered my father's Bose radio.
Okay.
Hooked the speakers up to it in my bedroom, and my brother was like, "Go for broke." and that was like pretty much. That was like, yo, not to take anything away from BDP, but I'm like, PE just had they had a whole different message, and we don't even think about the impact of them even going into 1991 when they had, by the time I get to Arizona.
Yeah.
And people don't talk about how they basically like, hey, we're going to shut you down. You don't want to celebrate.
Why they wanted to shut them down though?
MLK Day.
And their allegiance to Farrakhan.
Yeah.
And when Farrakhan said what he said, I'm trying to remember which particular comment he made. He made a comment. They deemed it anti-Semitic. And anyone within any arm's length of him was connected to that comment, and PE was connected to that comment. So they tried to take them down, and then Professor Griff didn't make it no better. Yeah. Professor Griff was like, "Hold up." And he just went in and made it worse. But they really pioneered a whole genre because there was no conscious rap. Even though they had the message, PE was what, 7 years after them? How long was PE after the message?
5.
5 years, okay.
5 years, yeah.
There really wasn't much, even after the message. People dropped the song here and there, but there was no full-on group doing that. And they were excellent at it.
Yeah, I felt them in Boogie Down Production.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then remember, like, after them we had X Clan.
Yeah.
You
With
know,
the
and
key. The red, the black, and the
the
green.
green. You know, and then you also look along those times too, as far as like I know we're talking about music, but along right in that timeline, you had School Days.
Yeah.
Right. Movies had become with Spike Lee. Movies had become conscious.
Yeah.
You had Do the Right Thing, Jungle Fever, School Days.
Yeah.
Even my guy, Hollywood Shuffle was
Robert Townsend.
socio-political.
Yeah.
Robert
Yeah.
Townsend. So we had, you know what I'm saying? It was a time where it was the perfect timing of it. And that's when it rose.
And you know what's funny too is that we take a look at that. You just mentioned Hollywood Shuffle, flipping out to the West Coast. Remember at that time, yeah, we had Too Short. You know, he was doing, you know, early Too Short, but then Ice-T kind of just came right in there, you know, with Pusha Man and all that stuff, and it was just like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a smooth, slick way of getting a conscious message out.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that even that was conscious. Like addressing the pusher in the hood. It wasn't, I think a lot of people took it and ran with it and it became gangster this. But
Yeah.
talking about, even if you watch old black exploitation movies, quote unquote,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word, those were socio-political diatribes on society. And it was like, after a while, once they started making money with it and you pushing out 50 movies a year, you know what I'm saying? Then now you're getting into the ridiculous and the goofy, and then the pusher now he's not the victim, he's the one doing the crime. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's the predator, and now he's like the god of the city, and now you're glorifying him.
Right.
But at one point, he was just a struggling man trying to do his best. Yeah, he may have been a pimp, or you know what I'm saying, a pusher or whatever, but he wasn't glorifying his situation. He just was in it. But after a while, it became they took from it, like, and I'm not gonna blame NWA or nobody else, but somebody, when NWA came, NWA was conscious in the beginning. If you really would listen to it.
If you think about it, that first NWA album, Straight Outta Compton, Dope Man, he talking about going against the dope man. He talking about going against the drug dealer.
He was.
He talking about beating his ass.
But it became, just like with movies and everything else, it became profitable to play up that stereotype. So that stereotype became cool, and the guy with the medallions and the you know, just the dashiki became a little not so cool no more.
Yeah.
And you want to be the shooter. You know what I'm saying? Respect it. You want to be that guy after a while. Then, and I'm not gonna blame Onyx or nobody, but break him out, bring him out, bring him out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so once aggression gonna always, 9 times out of 10, excite people more than talking about peace and love. You got Def Jeff. Do it. Take yourself, feel free. You do it. And
Young
that's
MC.
cool. That's cool. And then here come like Naughty by Nature talking about God your grill, knuckle up. Like, which one is more exciting to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which one is more exciting? So you're like, oh snap, that's like, you know what I'm saying? It's the Mad Face Invasion. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's more exciting than like, you know, the ghetto's been good to me so far. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
because you know, my bad. You know what they did with conscious rap was the fact that it was, at first it was good, but then when they started, he was getting a lot of traction. They wanted to turn it into bubblegum pop. They wanted to make it seem like if you listen to conscious rap, you were soft. If you didn't have something hardcore bumping out your speakers,
right,
you know, you just weren't it.
Now, can we blame ourselves for that a little bit too?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to say it was just the label, which it was the labels, because they're going to gravitate to whatever's paying. They're going to push more like, if bubblegum is paying, let's do bubblegum. But at the same time, us as a people kind of like lean toward conscious rap not being cool either. After a while, it did become, they kind of preaching. And nobody wants to be preached to. You know what I'm saying? After a while.
Well,
that's like going to church.
You look at Tragedy Gaddafi, a.k.a. Intelligent Hoodlum.
Who used to be
Arrest the President.
You
know, Black and Proud. Yeah. Because you look at his first 2 singles, Black and Proud. And the rest of, you know, you look at that, it was like, yo, That was conscious rap. That was 1989, 1990.
Yeah.
You know, we can even go to Ice Cube. Yeah. And hey, and you want to talk, I think Ice Cube's best album, and it's really a social political album, and that is Death Certificate.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just got so many good albums. He just got so many. All of his albums was pretty much socio-political, like all of them, really. He talked in stories.
Yeah.
I mean, because I know I played years ago, I played Horny Little Devil.
Horny Little Devil. Can't catch a
Horny Little Devil. Yep. Looking at my girlfriend's black skin. You want to jump in, but you don't like white men. So go and kill that work, you fucking jerk. You know, and I was like, I remember playing that for some white folks. They were like, oh wow. I said, well, it was an oh wow, but they understood. They're like, wow, you know, like, because they saw Ice Cube as the actor, you know.
Right.
I liked him in Trespass. I'm like,
yeah, right.
Okay.
Trespass.
right. But when they heard that, it was like, oh, like they were like, wow, and they were like, but that's kind of like a conscious song. I'm like,
right. Yeah.
It's it's right in there.
Joint on there about the Korean stores taking over the black neighborhoods on that same. Yeah.
That was real. And everybody in the hood got it. You didn't need to be explained what he was talking about. You got it. How they could come in and get the loan for this corner store, put the store there, work that thing 24 hours or however long they work it, while you can't get a loan for a piece of bubble gum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's all stores up and down the block, and none of them are owned by you.
Nope.
And we just accepted that at one point. But some people started to ask, like, why is it that way? You know what I'm saying? That's what conscious rap was doing for us.
Yeah. I think the person, whether people want to hear it or not, that could have kept it alive if he wasn't tainted, if he wasn't touched or messed with, which was Tupac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, now, like that documentary, you saw him doing that before he got on?
Mm-hmm.
Real conscious rap. He was like rapping for a bunch of people when he was in like a high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was built for that. He was going to be the great. He probably would be like, it probably would be a different America if that dude had lived. For black people, it'd probably be a really, his passion though, you know what I'm saying? It consumed him. Like he went to Chicago and screamed on the gangs over there to the point they were like, we about to kill this dude, because he was so passionate, he didn't know how to stop. So he would just spaz on everybody, you know what I'm saying? And I think he was what America was feeling. Him being in his mother's belly when she's in prison for being a Black Panther, and she's representing herself. All that angst, all that went into him. Like she's like, I'm about to do 50 years in here. If I don't, and she's her own lawyer. All the other Panthers ran, they left. She's on trial by herself with her son in her belly. So this is what this dude is created in. You know what I'm saying?
His first album was conscious. You could say his first album, Apocalypse.
Yeah. Yo, man,
that was conscious. And he was one of the first ones you really could say was contradictory to a degree too. And that's what kind of like, and I think a lot of people picked up on the other stuff and started to run with all the gangster and thug and this and that. And that's what kind of made, for one, it made conscious rap not cool. Because you want to be a thug or you want to be the conscious brother over here. You know that gets no play in my ride, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? It became an insult. It became an insult. You trying to kick knowledge? Like, it became like you was the corny one. You know what I'm saying? And why is that though? What happened? Like,
man, look how they was clowning what's his name? Sharif, whatever, in Minister Society.
Yeah. You know, it gets no play in here.
Right? Get that shit out of
here. That's why I just called you Stacy.
And by then, what year was Menace? By then,
93.
That's how it was.
May of 93.
It was like, you playing conscious rap, like you done. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's not pretend that styles don't come and go. Right? Let's not pretend that stuff don't get old. Because even gangster rap got old. It had to change into something else. Right?
Yep.
Drill rap is popping right now. That's gonna get old. Right? We had what was E40 and them doing over there a while ago?
Oh, I don't want
Tell me when to go. Tell me when to
Tell me when to go,
go.
yo.
That was
I forgot
called
what it was
Dumb,
called.
huh?
I forgot what they called it. That movement of
dumb.
music it was doing over there.
Hyphy.
Hyphy movement.
That's what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
And that was like 2002 to 2005.
Something like that, right? But
Yeah.
everything gets a facelift, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
even if you listen to Spanish music, reggaeton was one way back when Nori started doing it. It don't sound
Mm-hmm.
like that no more. It's completely different. The whole style is different. It's mad mellow. It's chill. Reggaeton is not like fight music like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like it's some other stuff, right? So it's like everything gets a facelift and it changes. Now, conscious rap, they say it was a concerted effort by the labels and the higher ups, which I can believe, to get it out of here on a level, because if your society is based around you get economic advancement from prisons. Like if your prisons are worth billions and you have private investors invested in a product of human freaking slaves that work nonstop, and these structures are built around money and they get big bags of money for it, why would you want these conscious rappers telling them, don't do drugs, don't go to jail? Of course you want to stop that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to
Right.
do everything in your power to stop that. So I believe it was a concerted effort on the labels, but at the same time, I believe we as a people just kind of got a little bored with it.
Yeah, we
Let's just
did.
be honest.
We did.
And the rappers who did it didn't adjust to times with it, in my opinion. I feel
No.
like KRS-One did a horrible job after a while to stay relevant. And I
Yeah.
loved his first like 8-9 albums. Right?
He had
Yep.
a good run though. He had a good run.
He had a very good run. But when did KRS run? All right, so KRS-One run was what conscious rap run. Let's start there. When did conscious rap begin to fall and it was gone?
93.
Began in 93?
About 93,
No.
94.
Oh,
I'll
you think it
say
ended in 93?
I think it
That's
started to
tough.
like really erode from within around 93. And then by 95, 96, it just wasn't you weren't hearing it.
I think you're right. So what year? So was that when like KRS did the Boom Bap in 96, something like that?
Return of the Boom
Earlier
Bap
than
was
96.
92.
All right,
92
so
going to 93. Cause I'm a blunt getting smoked and I can't wake up. That was I'm dreaming of being a blunt. That was 90. It got to be like 93.
okay.
Cause I believe I was still in high school around that time. On my
Okay.
on my way out.
So we're gonna say, and we're gonna run down a list of the top conscious rappers ever. I want to do that, but so we're gonna say that consciousness as a form of hip hop was ending around 95. You said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you still have people doing. I think Bahamadia was coming in around that time, and like,
Yeah, Bahama. Yeah, she did because 94.
Yeah, other
In
groups,
fact,
some like the Roots. The
the
Roots
Roots.
came in with a
That,
certain element of consciousness.
but
yeah.
you know what? Everybody started to consciousness never left. It started to morph
Yeah,
because you
Mm,
couldn't be overtly conscious no more.
it wasn't as
You know what I'm saying?
militant. It wasn't as
right.
militant. It came like more of
Right.
a in a more digestible form with like the Commons, the Most Def, the Talib Kweli's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roots.
To stay alive, it had to morph from heavily overly revolutionary. It had to morph into something we could use on a day-to-day, because
Right.
it's not a straight up militant is not a mainstream. You can't just be a militant. That's not an
No.
occupation. That's not a thing you can do all day, every day. You gotta go to work. You gotta, even if you're sweeping up here, you gotta sweep it up, or you gotta be a janitor. Whatever you're doing, you gotta come into your workplace with a level of like conformity, and you gotta be able to work with other people
Yeah,
in
Kendrick
not a
Mm-hmm.
Lamar
militant way.
is to me is conscious. Kendrick Lamar. His
All right, so
music
I
Mm.
is
got a list here. Let's see about this list. We're gonna go down this list real quick of the top, or what I think it says, 13 conscious, the top greatest conscious rappers of all time, and we're gonna see if we can feel out what consciousness was. The number one they say is Chuck D.
yeah.
I agree with that 100%. The number 2 conscious rapper of all time, they say, is KRS-One. I agree with that. I would say that's true. Number 3, they got Common. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree with that. Tupac is number 4. I agree with that. I think Tupac could be up there as high as 1, to be honest with you.
I gotta hear who after him, because like after his like second album, he can win more gangster.
Yeah.
Second album? What you mean, like the 4th joint?
Like on his third album, like Me Against the World, it had conscious in it, but it started going more to, that's the one with Dear Mom. It started going more towards like
more mainstream.
Then when he got on Death Row, it just really went gangster.
Right, but I still say he's one of the greatest conscious rappers in.
Oh yeah. I just want to hear who after him. For him,
Most Def is 5.
Most Def is 5.
Most Def is 5. I agree with that.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So far, yep.
Black Thought is 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta go. Yeah.
Dead Prez is 7. This list legit, bro.
Dead Prez, their first album is really conscious. Let's Get Free. They talk about everything on that joint.
And they was bringing back, because by then consciousness was gone.
Yeah,
they had brought back.
And they did Pete Rock had them on. I forgot what one of his albums, but they had the song called War Zone.
Oh, they talk. Okay. Oh yeah.
They
talking about partying, but they making a conscious.
I vaguely remember. I don't remember it like I need to.
It had the Incredible Hulk beat to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna make me go back because I completely forgot about that song. It's probably hard. So I do want to hear some Dead Prez. Them dudes was legit, bro.
Yeah.
They not only made consciousness cool, they made just being straight up militant from the street cool. Cause them dudes never left the hood. They just wasn't on wax no more.
Yeah.
Dude with the army fatigues on, like
I might have to put them before Most Def and Common.
Yeah.
I might have to put them because they albums was real conscious. I mean, they talked about everything on that first album. They talk about the school system, the prison.
Maybe they're saying who resonated more.
Yeah.
All right, number 8 is Talib Kweli. I agree with that. Number 9 is Killer Mike. I agree with that. Number 10 is Kendrick Lamar. Number 11, believe it or not, is Brother Ali.
Yeah, he's conscious. Yeah,
he's nothing but conscious. And number 12 is Rhapsody.
And
then number 13 is Immortal Technique. I don't listen to a lot of Immortal Technique, but what I have
I'm not
heard
familiar with his music like that.
Dale, you need to get into that conscious rap, Dale.
I just don't listen to Immortal Technique that much. I'm not familiar with his music like that.
And what I want to throw in here is Boots Riley from The Coup.
Oh yeah.
Boots.
Paris from Paris.
Yeah.
The Devil, what's the name of his first joint there? The Devil what?
I think The Devil Made Me Do It or something like that.
I know he had Bush Killer. Remember Bush Killer when you talking about George Bush Sr.?
Now let's be honest. Like that, Dale. Stuff like that is what pushed conscious rap out. Because it went too far. It got too extreme. It's like he wanted to go in the White House, hang the president. Like it was like, all right.
Yeah.
It was like, let's slow this down. It was like a real scary time, bro.
He put that out as a single too.
Yeah. But you know where conscious rap really got scary was when you go back to Public Enemy, Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos.
Yeah.
If you really listen to the lyrics, you break it down. That's when they ended up popping up on the list of people who are dangerous. Going to the White House.
And it was terrorist acts and things of that nature going on. So they was trying to lump them in with terrorists, bro.
Yeah. Because, you know why? Because the fact of the matter is that we were buying it. I know you guys are a couple of years older than I am. You guys are like in between. Shit, I'm in. How old are you guys?
I'm 53.
All right.
I just turned 50.
All right, I'm 48, and that's why I say, like, my older brother and his friends in between the ages of 55 and up. So those were the guys because they were in their early to mid 20s. So you know they were playing that like, yeah, okay, hey, white guy, yeah, what you say? Okay.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you know, my young self, I was like, let me listen to this on the way to school. Get inspired.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I'm looking at Paris discography. This
Mm-hmm.
guy has been making albums all the way up to 2020.
Really? Wow.
He got albums nonstop. Every
Damn,
couple
I
of years,
didn't
he
know
dropped
that.
an album.
That's crazy.
2020, he did a whole. He just dropped one, Safe Space Invader. That's like right in the pandemic, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
wow, damn.
So the conscious rapper, I don't think it's gone. I don't think it left, but it morphed into something a little more palatable, and it morphed into the Kendricks and the Coles and yada yada. It never went nowhere. We still got conscious Rhapsody and things like that. But as a genre, it became too. It got like anything else. Like when gangster rap got too crazy. C. Dolores Tucker was like, "Listen, hold up, we got to burn these CDs. We got to stomp on them. Like we got to crush them with a bulldozer. They got to put stickers on it because this is it did get a little crazy."
And what the thing and what got me about the logic of that was you had to purchase the CD to go out there and burn them and run them over. So you just paid the record label and the artist, and that's why NWA and them were like, "Okay, you crazy B, thank you, because we just got paid. Thank you once again. We appreciate you, C. Dolores."
And you know what else too that we gotta acknowledge? When art is done well, is received well. When you get 100 non-artists jumping into something, it's not going to be done as well.
No,
right? You got to Arrested Development. I'm everyday people. Mr. Window. All this stuff. It's beautiful
Mr.
music.
Window.
Yeah. Believe it or not, they were gangster rap before they turned into that. Which that story drives, it kills me. Mr. Arrested Development and Black Eyed Peas were doing more hardcore rap before they changed their style.
Black Eyed Peas out of Ruthless before they blew up?
I believe they were.
Yes. Yeah.
And changed their whole style up.
Yeah, because no, I'm just saying, I mean, you Arrested Development, people tend to forget they come from Milwaukee, one of the most racist places here in America, and they were not, and they had a message. But it's when they sign that contract and you get that advance money, well, I'll wear some weird stuff, and I'll change up the message.
And got a Grammy for it.
Yep.
They was loved because, but at the time they came, they was like, it was a void, so they fit right in. Like when PM Dawn came, it was a void and they fit right in.
People that 91, 92, that between the years of 91 and 92.
Yeah.
It was that slice, that right there, that void is right there. Yeah, well, throw those guys in there. They're little colorful guys.
Yeah. Like with the consciousness, when it's done really well by artistic folk, but then when you give people what happened, oversaturated. I'm sure if we think long enough, without disrespecting nobody, we could think of a couple people who tried to be conscious and it just didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Just like that little kind of. So when you're flooding it, was like when you flood anything with anything, it's going to dilute it. And it probably, like, I don't remember as much as I should, but it probably was like every other conscious song became corny. And you got people like, don't do drugs, do flowers. Like, it's just like, still like, all right, man, y'all got really silly, bro. And we were like, you know what? Let's go over here to these gangbangers. Like this, it might be more entertaining over here.
Because you guys talked about it on the first episode of Old Heads. The group that really brought back conscious rap, Diggable Planets.
Facts.
Oh yeah.
And they brought back the jazzy sound.
Mm-hmm.
They were needed because what year was that? 91?
92 going into 93.
And they did it so well. We needed that. I mean, we still had Daylaw and things like that going on, but we needed Diggable when they claimed.
And they wasn't preaching. You know, they wasn't preaching. It was very laid back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like La Femme Fatale. Talking about abortion.
Yeah.
You know?
We love bringing that. We love bringing that song. It's just.
I mean, and even Daylaw
had to do it about abortion too with Lauryn Hill.
Yeah. Retrospect for Life, right?
Facts.
You know, I mean,
that's what we miss with Lauren, bro. We need her, bro. We need her.
Yeah, but she got to pay. She got to pay the people behind the scenes.
Thanks.
I mean, hey, the guy. Just saying, but it's true though. You know, you look at what Lauren did. She, in fact, I just watched that little snippet of Rohan Marley talking about how she stood up for something. She stood up for herself to the industry. Like, I'm not going to give you another miseducation of Lauryn Hill. You guys got your industry album. You got it. After this is all me. And we're still seeing her go against the grain. You know, I go back to her. You know, you look at her verse on Nas's joint.
Oh yeah, she killed that joint.
Yeah. That's actually one of my favorite songs, period, off that album.
Yeah.
And I skipped right past Nas's part to get right to her part.
If she could have just stayed in the business, imagine how many verses we would have. Like how many freaking levels it would be. Like we wouldn't have this flood of sex rap females. You can't get a female that's not talking. You can't even get a female rapper not talking about sex right now. You can, but ain't nobody going to pay attention to them, and ain't nobody going to give them no money to do what they do.
That's Rhapsody. Rhapsody don't get a credit she deserves.
Rhapsody killed on Robert Glasper's joint Expectations. Her verse is the illest verse on that song. She said, I milked the game without showing a tit.
Wow.
I milked it, ho, y'all on 2%.
No, I did hear that.
Yeah. Yo, you look at Rhapsody from when she first started with Cooley High. Their first song, All Day. Her verse is the best verse.
Yeah, she would stand out. I remember saying that, yeah.
Yeah, you know, but we talk, you know, as we keep looking at conscious rap, look at the Fugees in the Score album.
Facts.
That was so conscious and politically heavy.
And they morphed it though. They made it palatable.
Yeah.
And Middle America's buying that out. The shit went diamond.
Yeah, but you also look at them when
second album sold a lot of went platinum.
Yep, it takes a nation of millions. And you think about it too. But a lot of people don't realize with the Fugees, when they after they did the song on what was that movie about Ali? Oh my God, I can't. They had the single. It was with them, Busta Rhymes, and Q-Tip. Oh my God, it was on the that.
Let me look it up.
When We Were Kings or something like that.
Okay,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Now what's funny is before that though, I know they told Nike, hey, you want us to promote your product? You got to go into the hood and start giving the kids who got less some shoes and some clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't playing. They were like, nah, you can't ask us to come do something when you ain't gonna hook everybody up. And a lot of people that went over so many people's heads. They used their platform and was like, okay, yeah, we like Nike too. Like Chuck D said, yeah, we like Nike, but wait a minute.
You talking about Rumble in the Jungle? Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
I see a bunch of songs on this. Oh, it was When We Were Kings.
Yep. Yeah. They really, like, a lot of people tend to forget. Like, remember, they took the message from the album and started preaching it out in the public. They're like, hey, yeah, we talking about Warn the Town, the Beast is loose. Y'all know who the Beast is.
On the town, the Beast is loose.
Yep. Cowboys. You listen to the whole message of Cowboys, man. They're talking about the dudes in the street. And the dudes in the street didn't even realize that goes to show you how certain messages go over certain people's heads because they're not paying attention.
This chick said, I seen the biggest niggas on the block get murdered and they deserved it, or so the Beast said when he served it. I was like, yo. She said the Beast said he deserved it.
Oh, another political song, and they weren't a political group necessarily, but Main Source.
Right.
Friendly Game of
Baseball.
Yeah.
You know what? You just did something because you brought up probably one of the most the metaphor, what they did with that song, and they compared it to life.
Yep.
That song is underrated.
Yeah, but Police Brutality. That was a brilliant song. Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's what they used to do. It was creativity, bro.
Yes.
It's
you know, that RBI, real bad injury. Yep. You know,
we took Large Professor for granted, bro.
Yo, that
took him for granted.
And peace is not the word. That's
not
another
word to play. Yeah.
Yep.
What year was that album?
90.
Yeah, that's when you had to be saying something.
Yeah.
Even Black Sheep was saying something. Like, you had to be saying something back then. And it just morphed into whatever.
I forgot about how great that song is.
That song is amazing, bro.
Yeah, that was ahead of its time. Way ahead of it.
That's in my morning rotation on my way to work.
Wow.
In fact, I even brought that up in my class, one of my classes one day. You know, I was going around helping the kids out, and I was just going along with the song. And these three young ladies in there, they call me their school dad. So, they're like, "Mister, what you rapping?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a song called Friendly Game of Baseball." And I kept going on with the song. And they were like, I call her the ringleader. She was just like, "You talking about police beating up on people and killing them?" I said, "Yep, that's what I said. You heard me say RBI, real bad injury."
Oh.
Yo, and she was like, "That's ill, mister. I want to listen to what you listen to." I'm like, I said, "You're a little too up and down for this." No.
Dog, that album, so I'm looking at the track list for the album. It's so daggone dope, bro.
That album was dope as shit. You got Snake Eyes, just hanging out.
That's a dope ass album.
Yep.
Said, fuck them two DJs.
Yep.
Self-made.
Yo, man, that was everybody, Large Professor, man, that's a guy that you listen to a lot of his stuff, man. It's like he has a message to it. And we talk about the conscious rap. It's conscious.
I forgot that they put that song on Boys in the Hood. Friendly Game of Baseball is on the soundtrack.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
Yo, and see, you want to get soundtracks, man.
And you know what, Master? You know what he did, dog, with that Main Source album? He made a conscious record, but he made it in a way that it was digestible by cool, regular, everyday kids. It didn't feel like you were getting hit in the head with medallions and dashikis. It was the average kid on the block who could see everything as clear as day. You could see the police brutality. You could see all this stuff going on in the hood, and you're just gonna say it. You're not this scholar. You're just a kid, and you can see it, but you can't articulate it. He articulated it.
Very well.
Faking the Funk, Live at the Barbecue, Looking at the Front Door.
Oh, Looking at the Front Door.
Yeah.
Classic.
That's Faking the Funk. Album, bro. Yeah, Faking the Funk ended up on White Men Can't Jump.
Yeah. I used to love that.
And you listen to how they looped it too, you know.
Family?
Yep. Yeah. And if you ever listen to the song like in the entirety, going to the end, that bop 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 bop, that and it's how it just keeps going, man. Oh man, I'm getting goosebumps, man. That's once again, that's what we call frisson. That's frisson.
Now let's be honest. I want to talk. Yes. I don't want to paint this picture where our heroes didn't make mistakes either. The reason that consciousness left because KRS-One ended up beefing with X-Clan.
Yep.
KRS-One ended up beefing with Poor Righteous Teachers. Biggie ended up beefing with KRS-One. Like all these different conscious artists. If you look in history, a lot of them. I just watched that video I just sent you guys about is Kenny Parker telling the story of why X-Clan was beefing with BDP, which nobody really knows why. But apparently, according to Kenny Parker, X-Clan just started throwing shots at KRS for no reason. It's stuff like that where he's like, "Oh, we're not a human. Like we're not humanists. Like KRS was on this human stuff. Like he had went from like Malcolm X did. When Malcolm X was, you said earlier, before he was Malcolm X before he went to, you know what I'm saying? When he got back, he realized, yo, there are white people worshiping at the at the temple just like I am.
Yeah.
And no one is talking about color.
Martin Luther King. He wanted to work with Martin Luther King.
Yeah, it was like he went to, what was it, Egypt?
Where did he go? Yep.
He went there and he saw this thing ain't about color. It's about the religion of humans and people. But people started to use that against them, and they're like, yo, you're not for your race, your culture, da-da-da. KRS-One started to do that after self-destruction. He started to be like on some, yo, we're all humans first, then we're black. And then in X-Clan, I don't think they appreciated that because they was on some walking in my big black boots like that. Yeah, they was on some, yo, this is black and nothing else is, you know what I'm saying? This with the key, sussy. So he threw some shots.
Yeah.
One didn't like it, but we gotta say, just as humans, we're gonna have our beefs. For some reason, when females rappers come out, for some reason, them two want to diss each other.
Yep.
When the gangster rappers come out and there's two of them fighting for the top, they want to diss each other. The conscious rappers did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They supposed to be the
under the radar. It was more under the radar.
Yeah, and then I just realized I didn't know that KRS took offense to it, but Ice Cube said that self-destruction don't pay the fucking rent.
I used to laugh at that line back in the day.
Right? Now, we probably was like, oh, they mean no, but KRS took offense to it. Now, Ice Cube was, guess what? He was conscious, KRS was conscious, and here we are throwing shots when we supposed to be uniting. So it's like, we got to kind of blame them too. Because if we watching them throwing shots at each other and beefing, you know what I'm saying? Then it's kind of like...
But you know, then I didn't realize they was beefing.
But you know where a lot of this beef stems from too, man. If you look at their allegiance to the NOI,
yeah,
like Khalid Muhammad said, yeah, Ice Cube melted when I needed him. You know, and a lot of folks were getting kind of like, you know, being attached to the nation and rapping about being militant. It wasn't going to work out for your career too long because we all know, like, that stuff ain't got the shelf life of a Twinkie.
Yeah.
You know, it's got the shelf life of a grape being left out overnight. You know, it's going, and it doesn't always make wine. So eventually we knew, like, you know, as much as we don't want to admit it, but we saw, oh, well, hey, hold up, such and such got this banging single. I like that better than, well, yeah, I can put the conscious rap back on the shelf right here. I'll get back to it later. And when we didn't, because we got figured, look at our ages back then too. We were late teens, early 20s. So we were looking for the MC who had the best lyrics, who's going to give us something to really entertain us and talk about.
It became, we were looking for who had the bars, who had the beats. We started stripping stuff down, deconstructing things. And, oh, the beat, it started becoming about the beat and the bars. And it kind of like, the message was lost.
And also, go back to, nobody wanted to be a Sharif.
No. And he was kicking game.
He was
kicking game.
You know,
everybody in the world know that they should have got out of that city way before that. They could have left. They should have been left. Everybody know that half the stuff that they was doing, they didn't need to be doing, but they was doing it anyway. Everybody knew that was watching the movie, except for them.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you say? I didn't know they was gonna come back like this, blasting. You know what I'm saying? Like, we knew. So it's like, yo, everything y'all doing is wrong. Sharif trying to tell you he love you, but he trying to tell you they wanted Tupac to play Sharif, and he was like, I don't want.
Yeah, he turned it down.
No, he ain't turned it down, Dale. He went and started reading for it, and then started acting like, I don't. Why you giving me this bullshit?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He liked the way with the direction of it.
And then he wanted them to add a backstory and write all this stuff. They're like, bro, this is the character. Just do the character. They're like, nah, I need to know how he got like this. You need to show everybody that. He wanted them to show everything that happened to Sharif, to why he became Muslim. He wanted him to be like bad before he got Muslim, then he changed. He wanted a whole story. So, but I think he really wanted that story. So they would say, oh, he's not playing a sucker. He's just a dude that's trying to do right. Because without the story, he feel like I'm playing a sucker. That's what, like, it wasn't cool.
Right. And now, you know, as we sit here at our ages, we look back, Sharif was actually the coolest one out of the bunch.
The coolest one. Old Dog was doing way too much.
Yeah.
We idolize Old Dog to this day. To this day,
Old
we
Dog,
idolize him. But Old
yeah,
Dog was a bad individual, not in a
he
good
was
way. He was
he was
bad,
the
bro.
he was the actual menace to
He
society.
was a menace to society. He shot that lady in the damn store for she said, I feel sorry for your mother. We all did.
What you say
raped
about
Right?
you got
Mm-hmm.
videotapes of yourself killing people like dog. You bad, bro. You a menace, dog.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, you look at, I mean, and that's really like, you look at that. I think that was like when we started to see the decline in a lot of the conscious rap.
Right. Everybody wanted to be Old Dog.
Because because remember, everybody wanted to be the straight up menace. You know, if you listen to that soundtrack, you know, all over a hoe, because 2-bit is always on the go. You know, everybody was falling in line with that. You know, also look at the time Boss was out, so we were trying to like get out of the orbit of conscious rap and come into this new form of militancy.
I don't give a fuck. Not a single solitary fuck.
Even Brand New had like a gangster joint on that Menace soundtrack.
Punks jump up to get beat down. But you know what? And also MC8's character in
Menace.
In Menace, everybody wanted to be get it. You hear me, Kane, dog? Get in, buck them niggas, get the fuck out. Everybody wanted to be him.
And you look at the way,
look at him. Petro.
Yep, who got the snaps of Petro?
Come on, niggas.
And yo, and even his character.
Ain't nobody got no snaps on Petro.
You let them smoke your cousin right in front of your face.
You ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, even look at how, I mean, the brutality of him killing that dude. Yo, man, and then you pull up the Desert Eagle.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the 9. That wasn't the 9mm. That wasn't the 9. That was the 40. And you just, and it was like, and you. I remember telling my brother about that movie. He was like, "What?" I said, "Yo, it's way more violent than Colors."
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh shit!"
Boys in the Hood look like some Disney shit, Joe.
Yeah, and you
Rocket
think about
don't drink and Rocket don't smoke. Rocket
it's for real.
In a nigga ass.
See,
do y'all remember that Don Cheadle was Rocket?
Mm-hmm.
Don Cheadle was Rocket in Colors.
Yeah. Yep.
Rocket
man.
In a nigga ass. Go ahead, my bad.
Nah, man, it's the truth.
David Wayne was in Colors. Remember David Wayne was in Colors?
Yep.
I think he was the one singing that.
Yep.
He was like a crackhead or some shit.
I think he was the one singing that about Rocket don't drink.
Because you think about it, that movie ushered in some real, like, some at that time it showed us a different side of the West Coast, because we were seeing things from the news, Rampart and all that shit. Then we saw Colors. It was like, oh, so it's gang life. NWA started rapping differently.
Yeah.
Things on the East Coast were starting to kind of turn up, because we started to see more Cool G rap coming out, you know?
Had to compete with him.
Yeah. And then we saw the change in hip hop slowly.
But let's be honest, that was the crack era though. So the crack era ramped up everything. It changed everything, which it changed the music. And at one point, hip hop was saying crack is whack. And the next point, they started talking about the Jettas they was buying with the crack and the big gold chains. And all the rappers was acting like drug dealers, and they was dressing like drug dealers. And what I didn't know when I was young, all that gold chain stuff came from the drug dealers. When I got older, I was like, oh, they was dressing like drug dealers. We thought rappers dressed like rappers. Rappers was dressing like dudes that's really on the block. Because rappers was corny. Rappers was the corniest dude in the hood. Because they wasn't making no money. The drug dealers was the guy. And then the rappers started getting a little money. They started dressing like the drug dealer. Run DMC started wearing the gold chain, the sunglasses, the Adidas. That's what the drug dealers on the block was wearing.
Yeah, and so
we was mimicking the worst of society.
Because you remember too, Ice-T. Remember, Ice-T started as a punk rocker.
He did.
And I remember listening to him speak a few times. He talked about how he said, in order to really keep yourself alive and you hanging around guys who were doing some major crimes and gangbangers, you had to learn how to entertain. He said, I knew I could tell a story. You know? And we saw him with Cop Killer.
Yeah.
That was like, okay. Like, all right.
That was a rock song. And that was a rock song.
Yeah.
He went back to his rock roots though. He never fronted on it. He been back with his rock roots for about 17 years or more. 20 years probably.
Yep.
Back when Cedar Lawrence Tucker was doing that, he was doing rock.
Yeah. Cop Killer was
30 years ago.
Cop Killer was
Cop Killer was one of the songs that they were naming as one of the most violent songs.
Yeah. Yep. And that's like that's what I was saying. It's like we saw that and it was conscious, but I mean, but the thing about it is what people don't take and don't understand is with conscious rap, it was really a depiction of what was going on in our everyday lives. You know? And some folks were like, oh, well, like I said, my parents, they allowed it. Well, my mother, because we were with my mother a lot more than my father, even though they weren't divorced. But my mother, my brother, I'm putting this tape in, Mom, okay. And we listened to it, and she was like, wow, I got it wrong. I got it wrong. I thought these guys were, and she called Public Enemy terrorists.
I mean, if you're not listening, you just going for face value, or you read what the paper's saying. At the time, the news, Public Enemy was a menace. They were terrorists because the rhetoric they were spewing was quote unquote anti-Semitic. It was very militant. It was revolutionary, and people think revolutionary means kill white people. That's not what that means. So if you're a revolutionary, you're talking about kill white people, shut down the mall, hurt people. And that's not what a revolutionary is.
Nah. And that's what got me about my parents was that they came up in the time they were in their 20s. In 1959, my parents were 19 years old. 1960, they were 20.
In 59?
Yeah, my parents graduated from high school in 1950, so they were 18, going on 19.
Wow, they had you late then, right?
35 going. Yeah, my parents were in their mid to late 30s when they had me.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. So, like I said, when I came around, I was listening to what's going on. I was listening to all kinds, like my father when he wasn't sipping, he had the music going. So I was exposed to a lot of different messages. But hip hop, it just resonated with me. I just took to it and it was like, this is what I love. I love this sound. But then also being able to read, you get the linear notes and like, oh, that's what they sampled. So I remember me and my pops had we damn near went to blows over his War album.
Why?
The group War. Because I was like, no, I got to have it. He's like, you only listen to one song. I said, I like River Nigga. Why can't I listen to it? But now eventually gave it back.
Alone.
Yeah. I was like, here you go. I'm sorry. But but like I said, that was like when he was in a good frame of mind. He come up in the room, what you got here? I'm like, I got this, and this. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like Bismarcky, but he said I can see that's not really your thing. Like, nah. It's like I said, I like some playing sports. I wanted something hard.
You didn't like Biz?
No, I like Biz. It was just how it is. You start to outgrow it.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah.
When Biz first came out, I loved Biz, but I did outgrow Biz. After a while, Biz was struggling to get back in. He just became a DJ because it's like I think everybody outgrew Biz at some point.
Right?
It's only but so much. It's only but so much. You know what I'm saying? It's only but so much you can pick
that sample lawsuit really messed his career up.
It did.
Have y'all seen
Biz used to have some of the dopest beats, bro. Biz and Steezo and EPMD.
Steezo
had some of the hardest. They beats was the firest beats in the game. And third base. But third base was more. They was more serious over their beats. But Biz, Steezo, they was killing beats, bro.
That's a time in hip hop where it was like that's when the beats really became more prevalent. When the production and the beat making became more prevalent, and it's like, and the message. Don't get me wrong. Like you listen to the message, but man, that beat, like Marley, even Marley.
Yeah.
The symphony.
Do you guys remember at one point in hip hop, LL was looked down upon because he wasn't saying nothing.
Yeah.
At one point, LL kind of was like outcasted around that self-destruction time, around that time where everybody was, when P was at their height. They was
That
at their
Walk
height.
with
Like,
the Panther album, he got crushed for that album.
oh yeah.
Which album?
Panther?
Walking with
yeah.
the Panther. He was almost out of here.
Every time we bring up LL, every time he dropped the album, he was doing a comeback. He's the only person in hip hop history. Most rappers, when they come, oh, they got a new album. LL album, always a comeback album. He's making his comeback. It's always a comeback. I'm like, why this man always doing a comeback? And it wasn't his own choice. It was always the people saying, LL, he got to come back.
Like, he'll make a bad album. He'll make a real bad album. He had to come back from it.
Yeah.
Like that 16 shots to the dome. That joke.
Oh my God. Man, woo.
It's really bad.
10 cookies in a plastic bag. Get crushed by
he still don't even know what that means. He said he probably was high when he made that title.
Yeah, because when he came, it was like I expected more. Like after Mama said knock you out, I was like, okay.
He back. Then he come back with that.
Yeah, like we waited 2 years for that. I was like, man, you pack it up, L. But he always reinvented.
He wrote MC Light verse on Self-Destruction though.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
LL could do anything. He just wasn't gonna. He wasn't gonna preach to you. And he made a couple songs with a message here and there, but he wasn't going to preach to you. He could rap about anything, but he was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to pretend to be this preacher or whatever.
It was ladies and battle rap.
Yep.
Yeah. He was going to do battle rap, braggadocious stuff, and he was going to get the ladies. That was his thing.
You know, a little hidden gem with the conscious rap. Prince Marky D, Typical Reasons.
Damn, hold up.
I never even heard that joint.
Yeah.
Prince Marky D from the Fat Boys?
Yeah. 92.
I didn't know he had a conscious joint.
Yep, it's talking about domestic violence.
Because when he doing it?
Heard that.
Was he doing domestic violence?
No, it was a song about women in those type of situations. A girl. Yeah, look it up.
I'm just gonna say allegedly. I think allegedly he was doing domestic violence on Pepper of Salt and Pepper.
No, you think about Trash. You think about Trash.
No, I'm talking about Marky D, bro.
Oh, I never heard that. I only heard Trash was putting his hands on Pepper. That's the thing I've heard.
Independent research. I'm almost certain that he was. Listen. I don't know for sure, but I'm almost certain that I heard that Marky D, they had a very violent relationship.
I thought that was Trash and Pepper.
Maybe both of them. I don't know. I could be wrong, and I'll eat that.
Hey, yeah. Cause I remember Typical Reasons. I remember that was a big single for him.
Okay.
I never heard of that joint.
Hold on. Let me grab my other phone.
Oh, I see the Typical Reasons right here.
Shit. Got the microphone. No. Speaking of phone. Oh, wait. Ouch. Sorry about that, fellas. Almost killed myself.
What happened, bro?
I'm in my bedroom. Almost tripped over the dresser. Woo!
So listen, I feel like I want to go down this thing. This is something we don't ever really do in regards to the new MCs or whatever. But there's a list, and maybe we want to take heed of this list. But it says for 2023, which is 2024, I never get out of this thing. The conscious rap albums that you need to know. Oh my God, this thing is bugging. Hold on. I got some ad came up and I'm locked into it. Hold on. It was the conscious rappers of 2023. So us as old heads, we always got to take time to learn. Right?
Yep.
So they have a list of conscious rap albums, and I've never heard some of these. So as a unit, we can take heed of these and maybe listen to some of these albums and grow. Maybe Dale have heard some of these. Maybe you've heard some of these.
These newer artists you talk about?
These are newer artists, yeah. Some of these people are not that new, but it has 25 of the conscious albums, the best conscious albums of 2023. Denzel Curry.
Yep, heard about him.
I heard
Live
about
at
him, but I'm
Electric
not
Lady.
familiar with his music.
Yeah.
And I feel ashamed that I'm the same. I don't know much Denzel Curry music, so that's something we need to look into. Live at Electric Lady. Number 2, McKinley Dixon, Beloved Paradise Jazz.
I never even
That's a
heard
conscious. I never
Me
heard of
neither.
him either. So McKinley Dixon, I'm embarrassed and ashamed. I have never heard of him. Billy Woods and Kenny Segal, Maps.
Never
I don't
heard
know
of
why
him.
that just sound like that might be good. Just a song, an album called Maps better be good.
Yeah.
Danny Brown, Quaranta.
I like Danny Brown, but I haven't heard that album.
Yeah. I've heard of Danny Brown.
All right. Aesop Rock, Integrated Tech Solutions.
I've heard of
I heard an
Aesop
Rock song last year was fire. He dropped a single. That joint was fire. Aesop
Are you
Rock.
talking about Aesop Rocky or Aesop Rock? It's two different people.
Aesop Rock.
Okay.
The white guy. Aesop
Okay.
Rock.
Yeah.
Number 6 is Sane. KTT Zoo. The name Sane, S-A-I-N. I feel like I heard that name before. But that's boom bap, conscious, hip hop. Number 7 is Mateus Fazino Rock. Jesus and Votara. So they got a bunch of albums that we ain't up on, bro.
Yeah.
Saluki.
Yeah.
Saluki, Wild East. That's abstract hip hop, experimental, conscious hip hop. So this one you heard. L. Michael's Affair and Black Thought.
Oh yeah, I got that.
Game.
I got
tight. That joint was tight. Navy Blue, Ways of Knowing. That was last year. Mick Jenkins. Y'all was talking about Mick Jenkins last week.
Oh yeah, I like his joint.
Mick Jenkins, The Patience. I'm gonna check that out. Avelino, God Save the Streets. That's a UK rapper.
Okay.
Nas Magic 2 is in here.
2? They put Magic 2 as the conscious joint?
Magic 2.
But he always drop conscious. He always drop conscious in there.
Yeah.
And then Jav, Loner World. I guarantee they reaching with some of these. I'm sure they reaching. I'm sure they reaching with some of these joints.
Yeah, because I don't think a Magic 2 is a conscious album. I mean, it got conscious in it, but
they got Magic 3 on here as well. Magic 3 and Magic 2. And then Young Senju, Black Man Wonderland. That's conscious. They're saying Wiki and Tony Seltzer, 14 Figaro, Killer Mike Michael, Odyssey. I'm supposed to listen to Odyssey.
Odyssey from my part of town.
Huh? Yeah, Odyssey.
He's from the DMV area.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I know he had worked with Little Brother and them at one point in time with the Justice League.
See, I'm definitely gonna listen.
Yeah, I got a few of his albums. I ain't got his recent stuff, but I got a few of his older albums.
Okay. And then you got Jimmy, Do What Makes You Happy. They call it the Neo Soul Conscious and Chipmunk Soul. I've never heard of Chipmunk Soul. Maybe that's
when they speed the sample up like back in the day.
Has to be. Logic, College Park. No Name, Sundial.
6066.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I know I might get crucified for
that. College Park, I don't consider that a conscious album.
But I'm sure Logic spitting on there in some game. I'm sure
he always, but I know he's saying, he's saying things in there, but I don't really consider it a conscious album.
Okay. So that no name girl, I don't like people who do stuff, the gaslight to promote their album. I don't like that. Cause she came out a year or two later after Jay-Z said the thing with the boycotting, and she used that to promote her album to diss Jay-Z. And I was like, bro, you don't wait 2 years to diss him for some stuff that nobody's even talking about no more. About kneeling at about joining the NFL, like saying he worked for the NFL. You wait 2 years to the week your album's dropping. Now you're gonna diss Jay-Z. I thought that was disingenuous. She dissed Jay-Z and Cole, and J. Cole. I didn't like that, so I'm not going to be listening to that. I'm just going to be honest with you.
I heard it was good. I heard the last album was good, but I never listened.
Hopefully it is. And then
you ain't gonna listen to it.
He's like, yeah, I ain't
reason.
listening to it.
Yo, I can't. So listen, this is my thing, bro. When you're supposed to be like conscious or whatever, your actions gotta show that. And I
Yeah,
feel like when you do stuff as marketing, at that point, it's not conscious. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
yeah,
you're using marketing to promote your stuff, but you're supposed to be organic and conscious, it means you're calculated. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So at that point, I can't believe all the consciousness, do-gooder stuff you're spitting, pro-black, all this. I feel like I think it's all goofy. And to me, that's just me. But let me finish. And the last one was Jack Harlow, so I know this list is crazy. Is
Yeah.
Jack Harlow, Jackman, is that conscious? Maybe it is. Maybe only the
I
singles
never heard
are.
none of his albums. Never heard
Me
Maybe
any
the
of his
neither.
albums.
singles. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But I feel like we probably hit everything we could with the consciousness. Anybody want to drop anything, add anything, take away anything?
I can't
No,
think
I
of
have
anything.
a list of conscious songs, but ain't no need to run through them.
You know what? We could do that, but you know what else too? I feel like kill conscious rap. It's hard to put a conscious rapper like with regular rappers doing features and stuff. Like how many Chuck D features can you get? Or how many and KRS-One not always conscious. But somebody that's truly conscious, they gotta stay in that lane and we kind of box them in. And when they
Yeah.
try to get out, it's not the same. So all of that stuff, being conscious and being labeled that, all of that is
Mm-hmm.
almost like a poison. It's a poison pill.
Mm.
It's a poison pill. So it kind of like it killed itself. You can
Yeah.
be conscious, but the genre can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? It can't live because you can't just be that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You gotta be more.
You gotta be more. You gotta be more flexible, or your career is going to like right now. No one listens to new Public Enemy music,
Nah.
and I think they dropped an album like either last year, like maybe last year or the year. Like it ain't been that long. They dropped the album either a year or two ago. Like Public Enemy was making all this noise about this new album, and I don't think no one played it. Somebody
I don't
played it
think so.
because I actually had it on my list. I was like, I'm gonna listen to the new PE, blah, blah. And I did go listen to one or two joints, and I couldn't really. I'm like, I can't really listen to it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Can't get into it.
I can't get into this.
Hmm.
Like, you gotta fresh. It gotta move with the times, and it
Yeah.
can't just be all like. It can't just be all political. It just cannot exist. You don't want to hear that. I just don't want to hear a whole album about political, like and the Ukraine and like and the Russian government. Like, yo, I don't want to hear that. I just don't want to hear that, bro. My brother from
Yeah.
South Africa. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but like, what are you doing? Like, did you eat a bagel today? Like, what's going on? Like, talk about your life, bro. Like, do you have health insurance? Like, tell me
Did
what's
you
going on
eat a
with you, bro.
bagel today?
Like,
Oh
you know what
my
I'm saying?
God.
Like, let's talk about what happened was people wanted to hear more personalized accounts. And the rappers
Yeah.
that can do that became more popular because they learned that we wanted to look inside their world. Like Jay-Z
Right.
started to give you a lot of looks inside his world. Nas, the best rappers, Kendrick can give you a look inside their world. A conscious rapper like Paris or Boots, they gotta continuously feed that political beast.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you turn on MSNBC, what are they doing all day? Feeding you. And they ratings
Yeah.
went down when Trump was out of office. Because you didn't
Bro.
care no more. I didn't care no more. When Trump was in office, we was watching freaking MSNBC every night like this. Like, Rachel Maddow, what are you gonna say? Like, get his ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like DEFCON 3. We had to hear nothing but politics.
I
And then when the guy was
couldn't do
out
it.
after the insurrection and all this died down, it's like, who cares? Sleepy Joe's in there. He gonna sleep half the term away. So we don't even care no more.
What?
We didn't
What'd you
even
say?
care. So it's like you don't want you. And if you're a political rapper, guess what you got to do? You got to rap about politics.
Yeah, you got to feed the beast. You have to feed the beast. And what happens when there's nothing, when there's no more, there's no more food. There's no
Yeah,
more fuel to fuel that beast. You just become, well, yeah, y'all talked about the political stuff. Now that's it. You're basically you're pigeonholed. You can't
yeah.
get out of that. You know? That's like Taraji P. Henson.
It's weird hearing a rapper that's known for that try to talk about something else. You know what I'm saying? It was weird hearing KRS when he was really high on that human education against lies. It's weird when he comes back down to earth and busts a freestyle, just straight up going at rappers' heads. It's like, this kind of weird. This guy loves humans and all this stuff. Like, it was weird, and it's hard to get. You get in a box, you can't get out.
But you know, you just brought up something very interesting because we watched KRS on do that. Yeah. You know, but to him, I'm just sitting there just thinking about it. I think he looked at rap as a sport. Like, yo, I mean, I love y'all, but you know, it's like, but when it comes down to it, you're my competition at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if you get a little too far ahead of yourself, I got a rap that's gonna kill your career.
That's the famous line, boy.
For real.
Like, I got a rap for the top 50, a rhyme for everyone in the top 50 that'll end your career. Like,
yeah. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I was sitting there, I was like, please, at that time, that was at the height of, you know, Eminem's hype and all that shit. I'm like, please do it. Please do it. Please. As much as I know you and the thing is, I remember one of your earlier shows, y'all were talking about KRS-One and the Bambaataa stuff. Now I have a hard time really, you know, like all that shit you was talking, I can't even go on somewhere, man. Go heal yourself. Go, you know, for real, go get them fingerprints and register yourself as a sex offender.
Yeah, you know, that Bambaataa stuff is so crazy. And it ran for so long too, bro. Years. Yeah. Allegedly.
You know? Because I think that's also one of the beasts with X-Clan too, was like, even though Bambaataa brought him to the table, but you think about that story, Kenny Park was talking about, they came prepared.
Yeah. They was with
and I think there's a lot of that, you know, when you start seeing that amongst the conscious rappers, I would say there's an underlying tone to that. What's really going on?
Yeah.
You know, and I always like X-Clan. You know, Brother Jay's delivery. It was smooth.
Yeah. Had a great delivery, great voice. Yeah.
Right. But when you hear that story of him just coming out of nowhere with KRS, it's kind of like, come on, cuz, like, that's wild. Like, we could have talked about that, like, or whatever, like, but that's how rap is. It's competitive. It is what it is. And we saw a lot of crews that was native tongue, self-destructive from the inside.
Yeah. We watched it right. We saw it right there in the documentary, Beats, Rhymes, in Life.
What do you say? There was some tongues who lied, said we'd be native to the end. Nowadays, we don't even speak.
Yep. And you know the song that really let everybody in on it? Break of Dawn.
Yeah.
Break of Dawn was like, that's the song that actually let everybody kind of know. It took you a minute to pick up on it, but it was like, oh, you guys all don't get along.
Yeah, somebody don't get along in there.
Because I know at one point, Baby Bam was like, yo, he said, Tip and Pos, they got a lot. Yo, they basically like there's some coons.
Wow.
You know, he was like, you got a lot of people hurt up in here.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know, I mean, but I still listen to Break of Dawn because it's, you know, Born in the Boogie Down Cat Scan. You know, that whole, just the way he opens it up. You know, my file's clean, so my mind is clear when I transmit. I am the man of the family because the pants fit. I want to let forensics prove that I commence rule with the bread. You know, I was like, we can't take away from the fact that these guys came out we saw them as black hippies.
Right.
Yeah.
And then to see them come out with Break of Dawn and really like, wow, these guys went into their MC bag and was like, let's write this song here. Let's show the people what we really all about.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't it seem like De La was always proving themselves too?
Yeah.
Every couple of years, they was proving themselves. Because the times would change. What? They would take so long to come, and times would change and be like, what's De La going to really do?
But you know what, too? I think they sat back and they saw what was going on with Tribe. And how Tribe really never, after Midnight Marauders, that was it for them.
Yeah.
Sad to say.
Yeah.
I don't say that's it, but it was the beginning of. it was such a high. Somebody said it last week. It's such a high plateau, bro. Like Midnight Marauders is like if you got like on Madden when your player got 99 out of 100. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Midnight Marauders was so excellent. Like you would let it play and start it right over, let it go. You would just let it. You would just loop it.
Yeah. Because I know me and my man T Francis. We went a couple of years ago. We were going back and forth, and he on his IG page he'll post different things about music, and he asked me. I was actually live. I was doing a live, and he said, you're a big Tribe fan. He said, which is your favorite album? I said, I gotta say, Midnight Marauders. And he's like, no, you're wild, son. You're wilding for that, son. I was like, oh boy. I said, the Brooklyn come out.
What's his
he said,
his is Low End, right?
Low End Theory. I said, okay, Low End Theory introduced us sonically to a different sound.
Right.
And that's because of the mixer Bob Power, who did a lot of mixing for a couple of the Roots albums.
Right. On the mix, Bob Powers.
Well, yep.
Bob Power, you there? Yeah.
I think Midnight Marauders is their best work.
Yeah.
I don't know who doesn't think that. That's weird. Like, who doesn't think Midnight Marauders is Tribe's best album?
There's a lot of people that think Low End Theory is their best album.
But you know why they say that? And I try to explain to people, it's because sonically, it gave you it has a Bob Powers was a brand new engineer to the whole scene. So he said it in the documentary. I was introducing new sounds to him, and they were just running with it.
You know, he has a YouTube channel. He has a YouTube channel.
Oh shit! I have to go subscribe.
He has a YouTube channel where he breaks down them beats.
And that's what's up. See, and then like you look at Midnight Marauders. Forget Electric Relaxation. We all know that song is timeless, but it's the last song on the album. God Lives Through.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like God Lives Through. You know, it's like Fife. I'm gonna say it. Fife set the table for the entire song. You know, we all know Tip got the funk DD9 shit. Clearly, it's the bomb shit. Recognize me, kids memorize me. You know, every day I be scrounging. It's like, oh shit, okay. These guys, and to me, that album forever be something special. Just due to the fact that I know I left school early to go to Skippy White's and go grab that shit and come right back into school. Yeah, I literally walked out the front door, came back in through the front. It's like, got it.
Yeah, that's a great album.
It is.
Great. Come on, bro.
Great album.
My brother to this day, he'll tell you he wanted to punch me in the face every time I played it after a while.
Why?
Because he's like, I hate that shit. You play it every day. I'm like, how can I said, if you punch me in the face and you break the tape, I'm like, you've already punched me in my jaw and broke my jaw. So you break the tape, I got it on vinyl. If you remember, I have turntables. But I didn't kind of say it like that. Hold on. If you break this tape, I got vinyl. I got the vinyl. After a while, but even he began to understand. He's like, yo, he said, he wasn't like, he was into hip hop, but he said, Low End and Midnight Marauders, he said, they're two different albums. He said, they're two different, and this is coming from a guy who's really, like, he's still an R&B junkie. But like he said, they're two different albums, two different sounds. He said, even a deaf guy can hear that.
You know why Midnight Marauders edges that? Is Fife completion as an MC.
Yeah.
It's like Jedi training.
Completion as an MC. When he first came to the game, he's a timid little dark-skinned kid. Like he had that much confidence. Then Low End Theory, he projected a little more. He became a little more confident. By Midnight Marauders, he was like, "Fuck y'all."
Yeah.
Fucking man,
got much better on
everybody.
That.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was like you could just tell it was like it was on and pop. And Midnight Marauders is a complete work of art. Not taking nothing from the other.
No.
They just got 3 works of art in a row. And they all different.
I'll give it to you. I'll put it to you like this. If you watch football, Chad Johnson was an amazing receiver, right? But why did Chad eat so much? Because he had TJ Hujmanzada on the other side.
Yeah.
TJ set the table, Chad ate. Fife set the table, Tip ate.
Yeah.
On that album. And it was like Jedi training, man. We saw Fife go from Luke Skywalker, the timid kid, womp rats, to, yeah, I'm going to take my daddy out. Yep, chopped off my hand. That was my mic hand. I got you now, son.
Yeah, no. But I ain't gonna never say he took Tip out. We're not gonna do that. But
No. Yeah, he didn't take he never took Tip out. But you know, it was like he forced Tip to elevate his game.
Sword for sword.
Yeah.
Sword for sword. And when you was in the mood for Fife, he delivered. It was no unbalanced. It was this is this and that's that. And you want both. You need them both. Because they couldn't survive without each other.
No. And and it's like, I'm telling you, man, there's an art of hip hop that is like, it's lost. There's so much of it. Like, I know we talked about conscious rap tonight, but you look at hip hop in general, the creativity, the showmanship, it's gone. You know, I was sitting there with Fliz yesterday. Like I sent you that, right? I sent you the beat.
No, you didn't.
Oh, you guys send me your email, man. I'll send it to you.
All right.
But we were sitting there talking about just doing.
I'm gonna rap on it.
Oh, in fact,
I'm gonna send it back to you with a verse on it.
Bet, because the sample, what we use as a sample, you wouldn't even. You got to be like we and Fliz were talking about. You got to be a super duper music nerd to pick up on the sample.
All right.
And you got to be a movie buff.
Okay.
And I mentioned it earlier. I mentioned when we first started, like before we went live tonight.
You did. All right, send it.
Yeah, and it's called what the hell is it? It's from the Alien soundtrack, the second one. And like I said, when you hear the percussion on it, you're like, okay, yeah. And the thing is, I want to go back and keep messing with it because there's more to it. There's a whole part of like about a 15 to 20 second part of the percussion, which is so because it's done by the London Symphony Orchestra, the LSO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. You don't get people talking about, maybe that'll be the next one we talk about, just beats. We need a whole episode on just talking beats, bro. We'll do that another time.
See that, and the one beat that comes to mind we're talking about it is Ninth Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beat. It's Band Practice Part 2 with Fonte and Median. Yo, even Crisis, the beat he did for Big Pooh, Just Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Man, man.
Yo, I'm about to get out of here before we get talking about beats. We be on this bitch for another hour. Yo, listen, this was a great episode. I hope we brought some knowledge to this topic, because I would feel really, really like disappointed if people come in and watch it and they're like, they really ain't say shit. I think we said some shit.
Yeah.
I think we got to the core of it, and I think we put a well placed described image of conscious rap from the beginning, the inception, all the way through. What went wrong, what was right, and some people gonna debate it and da. It's gonna be some comments that say whatever, and I welcome that. It is what it is.
So.
That's right. Old heads only. Thank you, Sir Dale. Thank you, Sir Mike.
Thank you.
Whoever comes in, please, in the comments, tell us what you think. Tell us if you agree, you don't. I see comments already. I see comments from Chop. I see comments from Rail. I see comments from Pure Fire. I see all y'all comments. I didn't get to the comments today, but we appreciate y'all writing them anyway, and we're gonna respond later on the pages that they are on. Thank y'all for watching. We'll be right back here next Monday night.
Appreciate you.
Old heads only. Thank you guys. Great show.
Thank you.